We're speaking with Sally Smith of Buffalo Wild Wings. She's one of the Food Channel pros, Leaders with Guts. How does Sally Smith relax away from Buffalo Wild Wings?
How do I relax? Well, I think there's a couple of things. I don't know that I'm ever relaxed, but I certainly have times that I enjoy cooking with my daughter. So when I get home from work, we probably spend 2 or 3 nights a week where we will cook for about 90 minutes to 2 hours, have a late dinner. I enjoy golf, so I'll go out golfing. Don't get to do that as much. I said as the company has grown, so has my handicap. I have a book club, a long-term book club that I'm a member of, so that keeps me focused on reading something current in literature. And then I try to work out 3 or 4 days a week.
Sally, what kinds of things do you like to do to take advantage of the St. Paul, Minneapolis area?
Well, I've lived in Minneapolis for 30 years,
wow.
And you have to be an outdoors person if you want to live here. Partly because it's winter for a good 6 months of the year. So in the winter, I cross-country ski, and I don't ice fish yet, but that may be in my future. In the summer, I like to golf, and it's beautiful lakes around here, so you can walk around any lake. We have great restaurants and a wonderful theater with the Guthrie here, so I like to see plays as well.
And the St. Paul Chamber.
And then, of course, we have wonderful sports teams. I'm going to the Twins game tonight. Beautiful new stadium.
I don't want to alarm the street or anything, but what might Sally Smith be doing 10 years from now, and is there a life after Buffalo Wild Wings?
Oh, I think there's a life after Buffalo Wild Wings. I love what I'm doing, and I get asked that question a lot. I've always said I wanted to stay through 1,000 restaurants, which is somewhere in the 3.5 years from now. But as that gets closer, I'm thinking, wow, I think I want to stay a little bit longer. But I hope that I can continue board service, whether it's to serve on boards of not-for-profits or public company boards, and spend a little bit more time doing things that I like to relax with. And I hope that I always have a place on the Buffalo Wild Wings board.
You grew up in North Dakota. How did that experience influence you?
Well, I grew up in northern North Dakota near the Canadian border. So when people say, how can you live in Minnesota? I say, well, I moved south when I came to Minnesota. I think it makes you very hardy because you work hard. The day after I turned 16, I got a job. I haven't stopped working since then. You knew what was important. You knew how to treat people, and I grew up in a family. My father was a banker, and so I got a lot of input and influence on how you treat people and the business world early on.
And you're really good at reading people. Where do you think you learned that? At what age, and what taught you to be so good at that?
You know, that's good insight. One of the things that we do at the company is we'll do this Strength Finders program, and one of my strengths happens to be understanding, and it's called individualization, and the ability to look at people and think about what they need and understand what they're trying to say, and it doesn't matter the person. And I think it was probably something I was born with and realized I was good at it, and so probably continued to cultivate that.
How much of your time do you spend traveling?
I probably on the road 2 weeks out of every month, but it comes at different times. So it's not necessarily 2 solid weeks. It might be Tuesday through Thursday, and then it happens during different times of the year. Certainly around board meetings. I sit on the National Restaurant Association board. I sit on another board as well. So I'll spend time out in the field then, and I try to combine those with visits to the restaurants. Which of course is very important to me, is how do you get out and make sure you're in the restaurants. And then attending industry events. So on average, probably 2 out of 4 weeks a month.
And when you started, your children, Phil and Jana, were young. Now, what are they up to now?
Well, my daughter's 24, and you're right. She was. Let's see. She would have been 8 when I started. My son was 4, and he's 20. They're both working at the company this summer. My daughter has been working part-time here for the last couple of years while she was going to working on some post-secondary school, and my son happens to be an intern. We have a very robust intern program up here, so he's working in financial planning. But I remember they've attended many of our conventions, so not only have they grown up with the business, but our vendors have watched them grow up, different team members have watched them grow up, and they're my best critics. When I talk about if we're going to look at a real estate site, they'll give me their opinion on that real estate site, or menu items, or TV commercials. They give me the straight scoop on what they think.
And you are one of the very few people who can call themselves one of IFMA's Gold Plate winners. What was that experience like when you joined that elite group of restaurateurs?
Oh, Ellen, I can't even describe it. I remember receiving the letter that I was nominated for the Silver Plate in the casual dining category. And that was a shock, and all of a sudden I started getting letters from past winners. So I knew that, wow, this was a big deal. I remember going to a number of events, and then it culminates in the final night, and it's like the Academy Awards for the restaurant business, or the restaurant industry. You walk in on this red carpet, you're escorted, and you're sitting in front of, you're poised with the other 9 Silver Plate winners, and they do a wonderful job of putting this video together that gives you a little recap of your life, and everyone's watching it. And then it is like the Oscars. They've got the envelope, they open it there, and they read your name. And I remember sitting there waiting for Sally Smith to go up to the podium, thinking, okay, well, she's going to get up soon. And it was really incredible. And I was lucky enough to be able to share it with a whole group of Buffalo Wild Wings team members. My daughter was there. And then because we IFMA, of course, the Food Manufacturers and Distribution Association, we had a lot of vendors and distributors there. So it was really, it will be ranked as one of the top 5 things that happened in my life.
And what are the other 4?
Well, the other 4 have to be certainly my children, having my 2 children. So we can count that as 1 or 2. I think when Buffalo Wild Wings finally did its initial public offering in 2003, I had joined the company in 1994, and my job was to raise money. And little did I know that Jim Disbrow and Scott Lowry, our founders, had told their other investors that I was brought on to take the company public, and they thought that was going to happen in the next year. That would have been 1995. It took 8 years for us to finally get enough credibility and to have grown enough to do the public offering. So that ranks right up there as well. When I talked about the birth of my children, certainly helping my children reach adulthood and be caring, contributing members of society also ranks right there.